Have you ever felt like time has quietly stolen your energy, your spark, or that deep connection you once had? At 73, one man thought his best days were behind him, until a simple spoonful of raw honey changed everything. Not overnight, but steadily, bringing life back to his hands, heart, and relationships. I'm Dr. James, and for over 3 decades, I've helped men rediscover their strength and vitality using simple, natural truths. Watch this video until the end to learn exactly how to use honey the right way to boost your circulation, energy, and intimacy after 60, because this could be the turning point for your second act. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. 1. Why circulation declines after 60, and what it's doing to your energy and intimacy. I'll never forget the day Harold walked into my office. At 71, he was a soft-spoken retired school principal, his hands folded neatly in his lap, his eyes carrying a weight that words struggled to express. "Doc," he said quietly, "I just don't feel like myself anymore. I'm tired all the time. Even when I rest, I feel disconnected, like I'm not fully here." His voice was steady, but the emotion behind it was raw. That moment wasn't just about Harold. It was a window into the lives of countless men over 60 who feel the same quiet erosion of their vitality. What Harold described wasn't just the inevitable march of aging, though that's what many assume. The real culprit is often poor circulation, a condition far more common and far more impactful than most men realize. As we age, particularly after 60, our blood vessels undergo subtle but significant changes. They lose their youthful elasticity, becoming stiffer and less responsive. The endothelium, the delicate inner lining of those vessels, begins to falter in its production of nitric oxide, a critical molecule that acts like a natural key, unlocking blood vessels to allow blood to flow freely to every part of the body. Your heart, your brain, your muscles, and yes, even the areas tied to intimacy. When this process slows, the effects ripple outward. Blood flow becomes restricted, like a river dammed by years of wear. You might notice cold hands and feet, as if warmth has abandoned your extremities. Your energy feels sluggish, as though you're dragging yourself through the day. Your heart works harder to compensate, straining under the effort. And for many men, there's a deeper, more personal impact, a fading sense of vitality that affects not just physical performance but mental clarity, emotional connection, and intimacy with a partner. Moments that once sparked joy or passion may feel muted, like a song played through a distant speaker. This isn't your fault. It's not a failure of will or character. It's biology sending out a signal, a call for support. And here's the truth that too few men hear. Circulation isn't just about your heart pumping blood. It's about the lifeblood of your entire being. Your ability to think sharply, move confidently, and connect deeply with the people and passions that matter most. It's the foundation of how alive you feel in your own skin, how present you are in your own life. The good news? Your body, even after 60, is remarkably resilient. It's waiting for the right signals to reawaken its potential. And that brings us to a question most men never think to ask. Could something as simple, as natural, as raw honey hold the key to reigniting that spark? What is it about honey that science is only now beginning to fully appreciate? And how can it help you feel stronger, clearer, and more connected than you have in years? That's the journey we're about to embark on. 2. The hidden power of honey backed by science. I'll be honest. When I first heard an elderly farmer, weathered by decades of hard work under the sun, swear by a daily spoonful of raw honey as the secret to his stamina and mental sharpness, I was skeptical. I'd spent years in clinical medicine, steeped in research, protocols, and evidence-based practice. To me, honey was a little more than a natural sweetener, something to drizzle in tea or spread on toast. But that farmer's conviction, paired with a growing body of scientific research, made me pause. What I discovered changed the way I view this humble substance forever. Raw honey isn't just sugar. It's a complex, biologically active powerhouse, teeming with compounds that can support your body in ways you might never expect. Unlike the processed, filtered honey you find on most supermarket shelves, raw, unfiltered honey retains its natural enzymes, antioxidants, and bioactive compounds. These include flavonoids, phenolic acids, and trace minerals that work together to combat inflammation, protect cells from oxidative stress, and support cardiovascular health. At the heart of honey's benefits is its ability to boost nitric oxide production, the same molecule we discussed earlier that keeps blood vessels relaxed and open. Studies, including those published in journals like Nutrition Research and Pharmacognosy Reviews, have shown that raw honey can improve endothelial function, reduce arterial stiffness, and enhance blood flow. It also supports healthy cholesterol ratios by lowering LDL, bad cholesterol, and raising HDL, good cholesterol, which reduces strain on the heart. For men over 60, whose nitric oxide production naturally declines, this is a game changer. It means better circulation to the brain for sharper thinking, to the muscles for sustained energy, and to the areas that fuel intimacy and connection. This isn't just modern science catching up, it's a rediscovery of ancient wisdom. For thousands of years, cultures across the globe revered honey as more than food. In Ayurvedic medicine, it was prized as a rejuvenating tonic for vitality and longevity. Ancient Egyptians used it in healing salves and rituals, valuing its restorative properties. Even Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, prescribed honey for everything from wounds to low energy. These traditions weren't based on blind faith. They were rooted in the observable effects of honey's ability to nourish and restore. When I began recommending raw honey to my patients, I saw those effects firsthand. Men in their 60s and 70s, who'd felt weighed down by fatigue or disconnected from their sense of self, started to report subtle but profound changes. Their faces seemed brighter, as if life was returning to their skin. Their hands, once perpetually cold, felt warmer. Some described a renewed sense of energy in their daily routines, while others shared, with a quiet smile, that they felt more present in their relationships. It wasn't a miracle. It was nature doing what it does best when given the chance. But here's the catch. Not all honey is created equal, and simply eating it haphazardly won't unlock its full potential. There's a specific way to use honey, a method, a timing, a ritual, that transforms it from a sweet treat into a powerful ally for your circulation and vitality. Let's explore exactly how to do it. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 3. The 60-60 method. How to use honey to boost circulation and connection. Over decades of working with patients, I've learned that timing and intention are everything when it comes to supporting the body. One patient, Carl, stands out in my memory. At 66, he was a widower with a gentle demeanor and a quiet struggle he couldn't quite articulate. He described feeling perpetually low on energy, disconnected from the world around him, and isolated in a way that vitamins, prescriptions, and even trendy supplements hadn't resolved. That changed when he started following what I now call the 60-60 method. A simple, intentional practice that leverages the power of raw honey to support circulation and vitality. The 60-60 method is straightforward but surprisingly effective. Here's how it works. 1 teaspoon of raw honey, timed right. Each morning, on an empty stomach, take 1 teaspoon of raw, unfiltered honey. You can eat it straight from the spoon or stir it gently into warm, not hot, water to preserve its enzymes. Alternatively, take it about an hour before moments of intimacy for a targeted boost. Avoid consuming it after a heavy meal or mixing it with sugary drinks, as this can dilute its effects. Pair with gentle movement. After taking the honey, engage in 10 to 15 minutes of light movement, like a brisk walk, stretching, or gentle yoga. This amplifies honey's ability to support nitric oxide production, helping blood flow more freely to your brain, muscles, and other vital areas. Consistency is key. Make this a daily ritual. The effects build over time, as your body begins to trust and respond to the steady support. Carl's experience with the 60-60 method was subtle at first but undeniable. After just a week, he noticed his mornings felt clearer, his mind sharper, his hands less cold. Most meaningfully, he shared that when he began dating again, he felt present in a way he hadn't in years. "I didn't feel numb anymore," he told me. "I felt like I was there, really there, with her." The science behind this is simple but powerful. Raw honey's antioxidants and nitric oxide boosting compounds work best when absorbed on an empty stomach, allowing them to enter the bloodstream quickly. Pairing this with light movement increases blood flow, creating a synergy that enhances circulation, energy, and even mood. Some men like to add a squeeze of fresh lemon for added antioxidants or a pinch of cayenne to further stimulate circulation, but these are optional. What matters most is the ritual itself. Starting your day with intention, giving your body a natural, clean boost that supports it from the inside out. This isn't about chasing miracles or quick fixes. It's about small, consistent actions that signal to your body that it's time to thrive. And when you stick with it, something remarkable happens. A rhythm emerges, one that your body begins to rely on. Let's talk about what that looks like in real life. 4. What men over 60 are reporting after using the honey method. The stories I hear from men who've embraced the 60-60 method are nothing short of inspiring. They come in handwritten letters, emails, and quiet conversations. Messages from men across the country who've rediscovered a piece of themselves they thought was gone forever. These aren't dramatic transformations shouted from rooftops. They're quiet, deeply personal victories that ripple through every aspect of life. Take George, 69, a divorced retiree who'd nearly given up on dating. He started the 60-60 method with no grand expectations. Just a teaspoon of raw honey each morning, followed by a short walk around his neighborhood. 3 weeks later, he called me, his voice lighter than I'd ever heard it. "I feel more comfortable in my skin," he said. He was laughing more, moving with ease, and had even joined a local dance class, where he met someone who brought joy back into his life. For George, it wasn't just about energy, it was about feeling like himself again, confident and engaged. Then there's Ron, a 74-year-old retired firefighter who'd been on blood pressure medication for over a decade. Skeptical at first, he decided to try the 60-60 method after a conversation with his wife about wanting to feel more connected. 2 months in, under his doctor's supervision, his circulation had improved enough that his medication dosage was adjusted. But what mattered most to Ron wasn't the medical change. "I feel like I can show up for my wife again," he told me, his voice steady with pride. Not just physically, but emotionally, fully present. These stories might seem small to an outsider, but when you've spent years feeling your vitality slip away, these changes are monumental. It's not just about warmer hands or more energy. It's about the return of confidence, the ability to be present in a conversation, to share a laugh, to feel desire, to show up as the man you know you are. It's about saying, "I'm still here and I'm not done yet." The 60-60 method isn't a cure-all. It's not a replacement for medical care or a magic bullet. It's a commitment to consistency, to giving your body the natural tools it needs to thrive. And when you do that, something deeper happens. Improved circulation doesn't just move blood, it moves life. It sharpens your mind, deepens your emotions, and strengthens your connections. So, what does this mean for you? It means that a small, intentional change, something as simple as a spoonful of raw honey, taken with purpose, can restore a sense of vitality you might have thought was lost forever. It's about reclaiming your presence, your confidence, and your ability to connect with the people and moments that matter most. If you're ready to take that step, drop a 1 in the comments, and let's keep this journey going together. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 5. The science behind the connection. One of the most profound and heartfelt conversations I've ever had in my decades as a physician came from a patient named Walter, a 76-year-old man with kind eyes and a quiet strength. Sitting across from me in my office, he leaned forward and said, "Doc, I don't miss being young. I don't miss the wild energy or the reckless days. What I miss is feeling close." His voice carried a weight that stayed with me long after our appointment ended. Walter wasn't talking about physical performance or fleeting moments of youth. He was talking about presence, that intangible, deeply human feeling of being truly seen, deeply wanted, and fully alive in a moment shared with someone you love. What Walter described is something I've heard from countless men over the years, though they often struggle to put it into words. It's the ache of feeling disconnected, not just from their partners, but from themselves. What many don't realize is that this sense of disconnection isn't purely emotional or psychological. It's rooted in the body, intricately tied to something as fundamental as blood flow. Emotional intimacy and physical connection are not separate systems in the human body. They are deeply intertwined, and the key to unlocking both lies in circulation. When blood doesn't flow freely, the effects ripple far beyond the physical. Poor circulation doesn't just weaken the body. It dims the mind and flattens the emotions. You may notice it in subtle ways at first. You don't laugh as readily at a joke, you feel a little more distant during conversations, or you hesitate to reach for your partner's hand. Over time, these small moments of disconnection compound, chipping away at the spark that once defined your relationships and your sense of self. One day, you might look in the mirror and wonder, where did I go? Where's the man who felt alive, engaged, and connected? The science behind this is both fascinating and empowering. Healthy blood flow delivers oxygen and nutrients to every cell in your body, including your brain, nerves, and vital organs. When circulation is optimized, your brain receives the oxygen it needs to stay sharp and alert. Your nerves become more responsive, allowing you to feel more attuned to your surroundings and the people in your life. Hormones like testosterone and dopamine, which play critical roles in mood, desire, and connection, begin to rebalance naturally. The result? You don't just feel more alert, you feel more present. You listen more intently. You hold your partner's gaze a little longer. You find yourself smiling at a shared memory or reaching out to initiate a moment of closeness, whether it's a touch, a laugh, or a quiet conversation. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it feels real again. This is why, when men share their experiences with this method, they often describe more than just physical improvements. They talk about feeling emotionally and spiritually grounded, as if they've rediscovered their footing in the world. They describe moments of laughing with their spouse over a silly memory, feeling confident enough to initiate intimacy, or simply waking up with a sense of clarity and purpose. This isn't about chasing the fleeting vigor of youth. It's about reclaiming vitality, that natural, God-given ability to show up in your life with strength, warmth, and presence. But as we dive deeper into these benefits, it's important to approach this with honesty. Not every man experiences the transformation they hope for, and it's not because the method doesn't work. Often, it's because of a few common, avoidable mistakes that quietly undermine progress. Before we move forward, let's explore what these pitfalls are and how you can sidestep them to ensure you're on the right path to reconnecting with yourself and those you love. 6. What not to do. Common mistakes to avoid. When I first began sharing the honey method with my patients, I was optimistic, perhaps overly so. I assumed that most men would quickly experience the benefits: renewed energy, sharper focus, and a deeper sense of connection with their partners. For many, this was true. They reported feeling more vibrant, more engaged, and more like the men they remembered being. But over time, I noticed something puzzling. Some men didn't feel much change at all. At first, I wondered if the method itself was flawed. But after listening closely to their experiences and analyzing their routines, I realized the issue wasn't the method. It was a handful of small, avoidable mistakes that were quietly holding them back. Let's walk through these common pitfalls so you can avoid them and maximize the benefits of this approach from the start. Mistake number 1. Choosing the wrong kind of honey. One of the most frequent errors men make is reaching for the wrong kind of honey at the grocery store. Those clear plastic bottles labeled pure honey may look appealing, but they're often heavily processed, filtered, and pasteurized. This processing strips away the natural enzymes, antioxidants, and compounds that make honey effective for supporting blood flow. What your body needs is raw, unfiltered honey, ideally local or organic, where the bioactive compounds, like those that boost nitric oxide production, remain intact. Nitric oxide is a critical molecule that helps blood vessels relax and expand, improving circulation throughout the body. Without it, the honey you're using is little more than a sweetener. Look for honey that's cloudy, unprocessed, and sourced from a trusted supplier. If you're unsure, check with a local beekeeper or health food store to ensure you're getting the real thing. Mistake number 2. Poor timing. Timing is everything when it comes to this method. Some men take their teaspoon of honey after a heavy meal or right before bed, hoping it will work its magic overnight. Unfortunately, this approach often backfires. When your stomach is full, your digestive system is preoccupied, and the honey's bioactive compounds are less effectively absorbed. Late at night, your body's metabolism slows down, further dulling the effects. For the best results, take your honey in the early morning on an empty stomach or about an hour before a moment of connection with your partner. These are the times when your body is most primed to absorb and utilize the honey's benefits, allowing it to support blood flow and energy when you need it most. Mistake number 3. Overdoing it. In their enthusiasm to see results, some men fall into the trap of thinking that more is better. I've had patients tell me they're taking 2 or 3 tablespoons of honey a day, hoping to accelerate their progress. But this approach can do more harm than good. Too much honey, even raw honey, can cause rapid spikes in blood sugar, leading to energy crashes and inflammation that counteract the very benefits you're seeking. The key is consistency, not quantity. A single teaspoon of raw honey daily is enough to send the right signals to your body. Over time, this small, intentional dose builds momentum, supporting circulation and vitality without overwhelming your system. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 4 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Mistake number 4. Expecting instant results. Perhaps the most common mistake is giving up too soon. Some men try the honey method for a few days, don't feel an immediate surge of energy, and assume it's not working. But this isn't a quick fix or a magic pill. It's a gentle, natural signal to your body to restore what's been neglected over years of stress, aging, or poor habits. Rebuilding circulation and vitality takes time, often weeks or even months, depending on your starting point. The men who see the most profound changes are those who commit to the process with patience, trusting that small, consistent steps will lead to lasting results. If you've made one of these mistakes, don't be discouraged. Most men do it first. It's part of the learning process. The good news is that once you correct these missteps, the benefits often appear more quickly than you might expect. Armed with this knowledge, you're ready to move forward with confidence. Let's talk about how you can start today, building a simple, sustainable ritual that supports not just your circulation, but your entire sense of well-being. 7 final thoughts from Dr. James. Throughout my career, I've had the privilege of walking alongside thousands of men in the later chapters of their lives. Men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s who felt tired, frustrated, and quietly afraid that their best days were behind them. I've seen the weight in their eyes, the unspoken worry that they've lost something essential, the energy to engage fully, the confidence to connect deeply, or the clarity to live with purpose. But I've also seen something else, something extraordinary. I've seen these same men rediscover their spark, not by chasing youth, but by reclaiming their vitality through small, intentional steps. There's something profoundly powerful about the moment a man decides he's not going to accept decline as inevitable. It's the moment he says, "I still want to feel alive. I want to hold my partner and mean it. I want to wake up with purpose, laugh with ease, and feel the blood moving through my veins." You don't need to climb a mountain, run a marathon, or overhaul your entire life. Sometimes, the journey back to yourself starts with something as simple as a single teaspoon of raw honey, taken with intention each morning. This journey isn't really about honey, though. It's about rediscovering your rhythm, reclaiming your mornings, walking with purpose, feeling the air in your lungs and the pulse in your fingertips. It's about sending your body a signal that says, "I'm still here. I'm not done yet." When my patients share their stories, the moments that move me most aren't about physical performance or measurable outcomes. They're about the husband who says, "I feel like me again," or the father who describes laughing with his kids for the first time in years, or the man who tells me he held his wife's hand during a quiet moment and felt truly present for the first time in a long time. The body has an incredible capacity to repair, restore, and respond when treated with care, patience, and a little wisdom. You don't need to do everything, but you do need to do something. Start where you are. Start small. Stay consistent. The science supports it, the stories confirm it, and your own experience will prove it. As we prepare to close, I want to leave you with something practical. A clear, actionable plan to bring this method to life in your daily routine, designed to support the man you are and the life you still have ahead. 8. Closing words. Your daily ritual, your new beginning. If there's one truth I've come to believe deeply over my years as a physician, it's this: small, consistent actions can transform everything. You've learned today that circulation is about far more than blood. It's about energy, clarity, presence, and connection. You've seen how it naturally declines with age, quietly eroding vitality, and how something as simple and natural as raw honey can help guide your body back to life. You've explored the science behind nitric oxide and blood flow, but more importantly, you've heard the stories. Real men in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who didn't chase youth, but chose to honor the life they still had by showing up for it with intention. You've also learned how easily progress can be derailed by common mistakes, like choosing the wrong honey or expecting instant results. Success isn't about doing more, it's about doing it right and giving your body the rhythm it needs to respond. Now, it's your turn to take the first step. Here's how to begin your daily ritual. Choose the right honey. Start with raw, unfiltered honey, ideally local or organic. Look for a cloudy appearance, a sign that the enzymes and compounds are intact. A single teaspoon each morning is all you need. Time it wisely. Take your honey on an empty stomach in the early morning or about an hour before a moment of connection with your partner. This allows your body to absorb the benefits fully. Move your body. After taking your honey, go for a short walk. 5 or 10 minutes is enough. Let your body feel the rhythm of movement, the flow of blood, and the air in your lungs. This simple act amplifies the effects of the honey and signals to your body that you're ready to engage with the day. Stay consistent. Commit to this ritual daily, even when you don't feel immediate changes. Trust the process. Your body is listening, and over time, it will respond. This ritual isn't about perfection. It's about presence. It's about showing up for yourself, your partner, and the life you still have ahead. As you begin, pay attention to the small shifts. The way you feel a little more alert in the morning, the ease of a shared laugh, the warmth of a quiet moment with someone you love. These are the signs that you're coming back to yourself. You have everything you need to start today. The journey back to vitality, connection, and purpose begins with a single step, or in this case, a single teaspoon. Take it. You're not done yet. As we wrap up, I want to hear from you. What have you learned today about reclaiming your vitality, boosting circulation, or using something as simple as raw honey to feel more like yourself again? Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned from this video that you'll put into practice in your life. Drop it in the comments below. Your story could inspire someone else on this journey. If you found value in this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more tips to help you live stronger, clearer, and more connected. Here's to your new beginning, one small step at a time.